Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see you there. My name is Joe, and I like playing games. I'm supposed to be home right now, but I'm stuck here reading the terms and conditions. You can imagine my disappointment when I found out about it, but at least it's not as disappointing as this.
Sometimes things can seem so promising in life, only to turn into disappointment. Like when you see a McDonald's after church and your mom throws you with a "we have food at home," or when you wake up to a cool rainy morning only for the clouds to open up and the sun to blaze down as soon as you're done with your morning Wii Fit challenge. Or like when you played Cyberpunk 2077 on launch because you forgot to cancel your pre-order. Or like when you try and make a fun video with your cousin and he ends up lost in a fire. Or like when you had a dream where you ate a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich, which was awesome, but then you make it in real life. The biggest problem with disappointment is when it bleeds over into our real lives and starts affecting the real things, like our video games.
And I'm not just talking about Joy-Con drift.
Disappointment can come in all shapes and sizes, from a size 7 to unfinished and broken games at launch, to missing content sold as DLC, to the writing in Forspoken being as bad as it is, to a game just not being as good as you hoped it would be, to signing up with a Bethesda account before you can play the original Doom.
You can play the freaking game on a pregnancy test. Since when does playing Doom have rules?
Sometimes the disappointment is even our own doing. Like the other day when I was having a good run in Risk of Rain 2 and I found a new unique looking shrine which I activated without knowing what it does, and it turned all my items into stakes and seeds.
I'm not crying, there's just something in my eyes, okay?
All of these things suck, but none of them has disappointed me as much as I was disappointed by the Pokémon Gambit. But before I tell you why, here's a bit of a backstory.
I like Pokémon.
I grew up with Pokémon, and I have enjoyed the art and Pokémon designs for the most part. My favorite part of the games is training and building my Pokémon, and seeing them turn into something cooler, usually. Pokémon is a franchise that I often judge harshly because I like it so much, and expect the best from it. But as we've seen with Sword and Shield, those expectations often lead to more disappointment. So here I was, minding my own business, trying to have some fun playing a bit of Pokémon Scarlet, when out of nowhere, a Barnyard popped out in a Terra Raid battle. To give some information on the Pokémon, Barnyard is a Deal Dark Steel type Pokémon that was introduced in the 5th generation of Pokémon games, which were Pokémon Black and White on the Nintendo DS. This was also coincidentally the last Pokémon games I played besides Pokémon Go till I got my Nintendo Switch. I love Barnyard's cool looking design. It looks like a little humanoid soldier insect with some sick looking blades that is almost edgy enough to be a Digimon.
Almost.
Not only does it look cool, but it also has some cool lore. They are courageous little fighters and their blades are important to their survival. They would often sharpen the blades on their heads using sharpening stones that can be found by rivers to keep their blades in tip-top shape. They train themselves hard in hopes of one day becoming a leader of their pack. They are so determined that they will continue fighting even when they get injured. They can be quite brutal when hunting, as they would grip onto their prey and continuously stab it with their blade until they take it down. Their packs are usually led by their also cool looking evolution, Bisharp, who will also command the Barnyard in battle. In the wild, Bisharp fight each other to gain the title of Alpha of the pack, with the defeated Bisharp being banished
to the Shadow Realm.
Bisharp often use slight tactics to win battles, and they live quite stressful lives as they have to keep an eye on the other Barnyard in the pack in order to make sure they don't betray them. Once a Bisharp chips its blade, it will retire from its position as leader of their pack. So here I was with my fancy new Barnyard, and I started training him, and I trained him long and hard so that he could turn into an awesome looking Bisharp. After my Barnyard finally reached level 50, I started worrying that it was not evolving, and decided to see what I might have been missing to evolve it into a Bisharp, which turned out to just be a few more levels. It was then that I also happened to discover that Bisharp had a new evolution called Gambit, which looked super cool.
I need it.
Right then and there, I decided to push aside all my goals in life, until my Bisharp finally reached its full potential by evolving into a badass looking Pokémon. I started searching the world up and down to find more Bisharp to challenge in order to evolve mine, and didn't find any. Just as I decided to give up and put my Bisharp away to train another Pokémon, I stumbled across an area filled with bamboo and Bisharp. So many of them. that it kind of made mine seem less special. But I dealt with it by taking down all the other Bisharp one at a time, because the game doesn't allow you to fight more than one at a time, until my Bisharp finally evolved into King Gambit. It is said that only the strongest Bisharp can evolve, and now I had one of them.
You might as well just call me a Pokemon master at this point. I'm not gonna do it.
My life was complete, and I could focus on the less important parts of life, such as food and water. King Gambit looks like a beefed up samurai version of Bisharp that now has awesome looking facial hair and a bigger blade than when it was a teenager. It appears to be sitting on a stool, which is actually its hair. King Gambit is known to lead huge armies of Bisharp into battle, and is victory hungry as they won't give up until they succeed. They are also very useful competitively as a revenge Pokemon, as their ability Overlord boosts its attack by 10% for every other fainted Pokemon in your party, allowing it to deal massive damage, especially when used in hand with other power-up abilities. It can also take down most Pokemon at this point by simply using the move Sucker Punch.
Just like my one friend's dad does to them.
I was very happy with my new cool looking Pokemon, until I used the new Let's Go feature in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The Let's Go feature allows you to let your Pokemon walk alongside you and is one of my favorite mechanics in the game. It also allows you to command your Pokemon to go auto-battle other Pokemon, or to pick up items you're too lazy to walk to yourself. So back to my King Gambit. I was expecting to walk alongside my new fancy Pokemon and send him out to run and fight hordes of other Pokemon until I saw its walking animation.
The f is this?
This bitch-ass Pokemon, who's supposed to be a badass Pokemon, is so lazy that it just sits on its hair chair and makes the earth revolve around it through sheer will and determination. It kind of felt like going to Walmart when a new flavor of candy corn or Oreo gets released. And it's not like they even skipped out on the animation, as it even tilts backwards as if its hair is making it move at the speed of a supercar while it's just clinging on for dear life. After being disappointed that it was not what I expected, I had a few laughs, before King Gambit accidentally ended up lost in my PC until the day that it will see the sun in a competitive battle again.
Oh well, I need to get back to reading the terms and conditions. Comment down below if you've ever been disappointed by a Pokemon, or your parents, or by yourself. Have a wonderful day.